Hello students, welcome to Install's English class, where we believe in democratizing education for all. Imagine you're trying to solve a puzzle, but some pieces are missing or don't quite fit. That's what happens when a sentence isn't complete or has errors. It just doesn't make sense. Today, we're going to learn how to fill in these missing pieces, correct mistakes, and transform sentences so they sound perfect. This skill helps you become a sharper reader and writer, making your English clear and strong. Let's get started with gap filling, editing, and sentence transformation, the tools that turn your sentence into a complete, accurate story. Starting with gap filling. This exercise involves a short passage with blanks, where you must fill blanks with one or two words. This task tests your grasp on grammar essentials like prepositions, articles, conjunctions, tenses, etc. It's about understanding how sentences fit together. To do this well, you need to read carefully and understand the full meaning of the passage. Building on that, here are some gap-filling rules you should always remember. First, always read the passage carefully to get the context. Then, make sure you understand the context and meaning fully before filling the blanks. Pay close attention to grammar details like subject-verb agreement and focus on tricky parts such as articles, prepositions, and conjunctions. And very importantly, maintain consistent tense across the passage. Continuing with the rules, before you choose an answer, mentally try each option to see which fits best. After filling, reread the passage to ensure it flows smoothly. Make sure the sentence is grammatically correct and makes sense. These simple steps help you avoid careless mistakes. Now, let's put these into practice with a practice exercise. So I'll read a short passage aloud. Each blank has the base form of the verb given in brackets. Your job is to figure out the correct form based on grammar and context. Here we go. The weather yesterday, blank, 1. Be very pleasant. We, blank 2, planned to visit the zoo, so we packed our bags and left home early. As we reached the gate, we realized that we, blank 3, forget the tickets. Father quickly rushed back to get them, while we, blank 4, wait outside. After some time, he returned and we, blank 5, be able to go in. Now, take a moment to think. What are the clues here? Look for time indicators like yesterday and check what the subject of each sentence is. Ready to check? Let's begin with the first sentence. The weather yesterday, blank, very pleasant. Since yesterday refers to the past and the subject weather is singular, the correct word is was. Next, we, blank, planning to visit the zoo. This was an action happening in the past, so we use the past continuous, were planning. Third, we blanked the tickets. The forgetting happened before they realized it, so this is past perfect. The answer is had forgotten. Now the fourth one, we blank outside. It's a simple past action, so the correct form is waited. And finally, we blank to go in. Again, it's past tense. And with we use were. So the full sentence is, we were able to go in. Great job if you got those. Remember, it's all about spotting time clues, keeping tenses consistent, and knowing your verb forms. Now, let's explore editing. Editing means revising writing to improve clarity, accuracy, and coherence. This involves checking your content structure, grammar, and presentation. The goal is to ensure ideas are clearly communicated to the reader, making your writing more effective and easier to understand. To conclude this section, here's a quick conclusion to keep in mind when writing sentences. A sentence, in order to be correct in every aspect, must have a capital letter in the beginning, correct subject-verb agreement, a period at the end, proper word order, and correct spelling. For example, the baby is crying for food. Today, we'll focus on editing, which means finding and correcting mistakes in writing. The types of errors you need to look out for include changes from singular to plural, making sure there is subject-verb concord, using correct verb forms, choosing the right article, understanding prepositions, using the correct pronouns, joining sentences properly with conjunctions, and of course checking spelling and overall grammar. Editing is a key skill because even small mistakes can change the meaning or confuse the reader. So being aware of these common mistakes help you write clearly and accurately. Let's start with singular and plural nouns. Many words have irregular plural forms, so it's important to remember these rules. For example, the singular boy becomes boys in plural, which is straightforward, but some are tricky. The word child turns into children, not childs. Similarly, tooth changes to teeth and man becomes men. You also have cases like lady, which becomes ladies, changing the ending to IES instead of simply adding S. Knowing these helps you use the right noun form so your sentences make sense and sound correct. Next up is verbs. Verbs change form depending on the tense, past, present or future. For past tense, we usually add ed to regular verbs like walked or played, but some are irregular like went or sang. Also, past continuous uses was or were plus verb with ing, and past perfect uses had plus past participle. In the present tense, verbs can be simple like walk or play, but for singular subjects we add s or es. For example, she walks. Present continuous uses am, is or are plus verb with ing, and present perfect uses have or has plus past participle. For future tense, the structure is simple. Will plus infinitive form of the verb like will walk or will play. Getting verb forms right is essential for making your sentences grammatically correct. Now, let's focus on editing article, which is about using the right words before nouns, a, an, and the. You use a before a consonant sound. Example, a boy, a girl. Notice it depends on the sound, not just the letter. For words starting with a vowel sound, you use an before vowel sound. Example, an apple, an elephant. Finally, use the before definite person, place, thing. Example, names of religious book, river, planet, mountain, sea, magazine, etc. Using the right article makes your sentence clear and grammatically correct. Moving toward pronouns. They replace nouns, and using the right form is very important for clear communication. For example, when you refer to yourself, you use I, my, mine, me, myself. When you talk about groups that include yourself, use we, our, ours, us, ourselves. For speaking directly to others, use you, your, yours, yourself, yourselves. When talking about males, use he, his, him, himself, and for females, use she, her, hers, herself. For groups of people, the correct pronouns are they, their, theirs, them, themselves. Choosing the right pronoun not only avoids confusion but also helps your sentence flow smoothly and naturally. Conjunctions are words that connect other words, phrases, or ideas, and choosing the right one is very important for clear communication. Some common conjunctions you'll use often include and, but, or, so, because of, who, whom, whose, if, unless. For example, you might say, I like tea and coffee, showing that you enjoy drinking both. Or she was tired, but she kept working, which connects contrasting ideas. Another example is, you can choose coffee or tea, giving a choice between two options. Using these conjunctions correctly helps your sentences flow logically and makes your ideas easy to understand. Correlative conjunctions are pairs of words that work together to connect ideas and add emphasis or clarity to sentences. Some common pairs include both and, such as, the same as, so that, neither nor, either or, hardly when, no sooner than, and not only but also. For example, you might say both the teacher and the student were present. This shows that two people were involved together. Or you could say she's not only intelligent but also hardworking, which adds emphasis to her qualities. Using these conjunction pairs help make your sentence more interesting, balanced and clear. Some words look or sound similar but have very different meanings. These are confusing words. For example, quiet means silent, but quiet means fairly or very. Next, peace is a portion, while peace means calm. Then whole refers to entire, but whole is a gap. Next, form means shape, and from indicates origin. And accept means to agree, while accept means to exclude. Again, leave means to go away, and live means to exist. Similarly, deer is affectionate, while deer is an animal. And place is a location, while palace is a grand building. Lastly, there indicates adverb of place, while there is possessive pronoun. Mixing these up can change the meaning completely, so always check carefully. Finally, when editing, pay attention to several important grammatical points. These include the degree of comparison, which help us compare things correctly, and voice, where you choose between active and passive forms, like the cat chased the mouse or the mouse was chased by the cat. You also need to use question tags properly to turn statements into questions and maintain tense consistency so your writing flows clearly without using shifts. Watch how you use clauses and phrases to make sentences smooth and clear. And be careful with narration style when reporting speech. Lastly, proper word formation helps you use the right forms of words to express your ideas effectively. Reviewing these points during editing ensures your writing is accurate, clear, and easy to understand. Now, let's apply our learnings to the practice exercise. Read the paragraph carefully and find out the mistakes and edit them. First, listen carefully. The students was excited to go on a trip. They packed a bag with snacks, water, and torch. Each of them have brought their ticket. A teacher and a guide was also present. The weather was sunny and pleasant. They reached the site early in morning. The guide gave them information about the palace. The children sat quiet and listened carefully. It was truly an experience they would never forget. Now let's go line by line. In the first sentence, the student was excited to go on a trip. We need a plural verb with the plural subject students. So, was should be were. Next, they packed a bag with snacks, water and torch. Here, we need an article before torch. It should be a torch. In each of them have brought their ticket. Each is singular, so the verb should be has, not have. Then, a teacher and a guide was also present. Two people means plural verb, so was becomes were. The weather was sunny and pleasant. Weather is singular, so it should be was. Next, they reached the site early in morning. The word site is wrong here. It should be site. And in morning needs the, so in the morning. The guide gave them informations about the palace. Information is uncountable, so informations should be information. In the children sat quiet and listened carefully. Two fixes. Quiet should be in the adverb quietly, and listen should be past tense, listened. Finally, it was truly an experience they would never forget. Since experience starts with a vowel sound, use an experience. Great job spotting these. Editing is key to clear writing, so keep practicing and soon you'll clearly catch errors more easily. Let's dive into the topic of sentence transformation. This involves changing sentence structure or wording while making sure you keep the original meaning or sense intact. Sometimes it can include changes in sentence form, tense or voice. Mastering this skill will help you express ideas in different ways, which is very useful in writing and exams. There are different types of sentence transformation you need to know. For example, you may need to change simple sentences to compound, or complex sentences, or the other way around. You might also transform affirmative sentences to negative sentences, or change assertive sentences into interrogative sentences. Sometimes you will switch an active voice sentence to passive voice. Understanding these types helps you prepare for the kinds of sentence transformation you'll see in exams. To transform sentences effectively, here are some useful strategies. Firstly, add not for negatives to make sentence negative correctly. Secondly, when forming questions, invert subject and auxiliary verbs. For example, she's coming becomes is she coming? Thirdly, change infinitive or participle to dependent clause to make sentences more complex. And importantly, use subordinate conjunctions for complex sentences. Words like because, although, or if. You can also use coordinating conjunctions for compound sentences like and, but, or. Continuing with strategies, you should also add not or reverse verbs when needed to keep the meaning correct. For example, he connected the cables, then disconnected them to fix the problem. Sometimes you'll need to use opposite verbs to express the idea accurately. For example, they accepted the offer while others rejected it immediately. Through all transformations, it's critical to keep the original meaning intact so that the sentence conveys the same message. Conjunctions play a vital role in sentence transformation. They connect clauses to form compound or complex sentences. For instance, coordinating conjunctions like and but link clauses of equal importance in compound sentences. Meanwhile, subordinating conjunctions such as because and although connect dependent clauses in complex sentences. Knowing how to use conjunctions correctly will help you create smooth, clear sentences in your writing. There are some common errors to watch out for when transforming sentences. Avoid changing the original sentence's meaning. The meaning should remain consistent. Be careful not to make incorrect use of conjunctions or modifiers. Don't confuse sentence types like mixing compound and complex sentence structures. And always remember the grammar rules. Ignoring grammatical rules causes errors that can cost you your marks. Let's try a quick practice exercise to test your understanding of sentence meaning and transformation. State among the following options A, B, and C which one is the closest in meaning to each of the following sentences. The first sentence is Harry no longer smokes a lot. Now, let's look at the options. A. Harry now smokes a lot. B. Harry used to smoke a lot. C. Harry didn't used to smoke a lot. Think carefully. Which one best matches the meaning? The correct answer is B. Harry used to smoke a lot. This means Harry smoked a lot in the past but doesn't anymore, which matches the original sentence perfectly. Here is the second sentence. Shall I help you do the dishes, Carlo? Said Robert. Look at the options. A. Robert suggested helping Carlo with the dishes. B. Robert offered Carlo to help do the dishes. C. Robert offered to help Carlo do the dishes. Which one is closest in meaning? The right answer is C. Robert offered to help Carlo do the dishes. This clearly shows Robert offering his help, which is exactly what the original sentence means. Great job! Always read carefully and understand the exact meaning when transforming sentences. This skill is very useful for exams and everyday communication. Keep practicing and feel free to ask if you want more exercises like this. Let's summarize this topic with some quick Insta-lights. To remember, first, the topic is essential for language proficiency. Mastering these skills help you become confident in using English. Next, it involves a solid understanding of grammar, vocabulary, and sentence structure. These are the building blocks of clear communication. And finally, practicing these skills is key to improve students' comprehension skills, helping you understand and express ideas better in reading and writing. Keep these points in mind as you continue your learning journey. Hope you enjoyed learning with Install's video. Stay tuned and curious for more such information. Bye.